A Minuscule Adventure, which is an animated live-action hybrid directed by, and I'm sure my pronunciations are terrible, Thomas Zabo and Hélène Giraud, and it's French. The original title is Minuscule Les Mandibules du bout du monde, which I think means either mandibles from far away or mandibles from all around the world, or mandibles around the world. So it's a sequel to Minuscule Valley of Lost Ants. Remember that?
No.
Okay, came out some years ago, which I think is also a spin-off from a TV series with which I wasn't familiar. It's French, but it's completely dialogue-free because it exists in the insect world. And brilliantly, insects don't speak English, even though in The Lion King they may burst into song, in rather they don't. So the story is a young ladybird gets trapped in a box of goods that are being transported across the world. They're being transported right across the world. And this sets in motion a chase to go and find the lost ladybird who's been transported to the other side of the world. And whilst the rescue mission plays out, there are a series of adventurous encounters involving flying ships carried along by balloons that remind us of Up, and a narrative which also has echoes of Finding Nemo. Somebody gets, "We've got to go off and find it all played out without words." I'm going to play you a clip that has no words in it. It has music and insect sound effects, and I think it gives you a good flavour of the film.
I like that.
Yeah, I know. And
it's like Pingu.
Oh, yes. God, that hadn't occurred to me.
In that kind of intonation of what the noises are doing.
That's right, because is Pingu completely word-free, isn't it? It's all... What was really lovely was that seeing your face listening to that after talking about It Chapter 2, which I know you had sort of problems with, it was literally like watching somebody lifting a weight off your shoulders.
It was great.
Yeah. So here's the thing with the film. Like Magic Roundabout, to which there are sort of some connections, it has that mixture of sweetness and sweet and sour, light and dark, which is that there are lots of very, very funny encounters, lots of, but there is also things that are genuinely a bit threatening. There's a moment of characters getting stuck on a spider web and being chased by a spider, which on the one hand it's an animated spider and it looks, but also it's an animated spider and therefore it's scary. And what I think the film manages to do is to create a world, firstly, that you believe in as much as you need to believe in it. So it's, minuscule, it's everything is, very, they're tiny, ants, insects, blah, blah, blah. But it manages to invest in these characters a huge amount. We were talking before about how the emotional investment from It Chapter 2 is missing. Here you have characters who are animated in which the only bits of their face that you can actually see as being a face are two eyes. Like Shaun the Sheep, in which it's the Aardman thing about it's just eyes. And somehow they managed to wring a huge amount of emotional engagement out of the sight of the two eyes barely even moving. And at times I was watching it thinking, am I just projecting stuff onto this? Or is it that the whole film has been put together so well that I am imagining that the ladybird is smiling, the ladybird is sad, the spider is looking worried? But it's because of the simplicity of it, it actually works really well. The second thing about it is it's very nice to see an animation like this in which it's not full of cine-literate gags that are nudge, winking the adults in the audience. It's playing it, saying, this is the story, this is where we are, this is, let's concentrate on this. Thirdly, there are bits in it that are genuinely kind of adventurous and exciting. I mean, yes, there are certain elements that you've seen before in other films. It's not 100% original, but I don't mind, because if somebody's going to do that, then do it with conviction and do it with feeling. The other thing is, I loved the score. The score, and even just watching you listening to the score there with the effects on the top of it, put a smile on my face, because I remembered how much I enjoyed watching the thing itself. So I don't think it's a particularly, it's not going to be a huge blockbuster. I don't know how wide the release is, but if you're looking for a film to take kids to, and the kids who can do with a bit of darkness, a little bit of scary, which I think is good for all of us, as Dougal and the Blue Cat demonstrates. This is. It was a real surprise treat. I wasn't expecting. I like the original, but I wasn't expecting to enjoy this as much as I did. And I thought it was really well done, mix of live action and animation, in which you actually invest in the characters, in which you care about what happens to them, in which there is a narrative, albeit an absurd and crazy narrative, but it makes sense in the moment and of itself. And at the end of it, you feel that there has been an emotional journey, which means that when at the end there is an emotional payoff, I actually found myself thinking, I don't believe this. I'm going to cry at something that an animated ladybird or ladybug, as they keep referring to them. Nowadays everyone says ladybugs. Apparently it's what they say in America. Anyway, A Minuscule Adventure. It's really cute.